I, on behalf of my team, would like to welcome each and every one of you to the launch of OBITER's second issue at the Australian National University. I would like to also welcome a team of 16 Sydney delegates who have come to represent a much larger team of students that have produced this second issue, and there are over 55 of them. So the fact that we have 16 students from the University of Sydney, the University of New South Wales, the University of Technology Sydney, and the University of Western Sydney here with us tonight really does suggest to me, and I hope to everyone in the audience tonight, that this indeed is an intercollegiate law journal. So where did OBITER come from? It's a really good question. Last March, we had a very embryonic idea of making a legal publication by students for students. We wanted a legal publication that was engaging, insightful, independent. We wanted a legal publication that didn't just publish dry pieces of academic text, suffering from the effects of a literary condition Lewis and I now call long footnotitis. We didn't want to read any of that. Rather, we wanted to read student-produced content that other students would look forward to reading. That very much underpins all that we're trying to do with this journal. Furthermore, I still remember a conversation I had with one of my editors during the first days of trying to launch this project, and I asked Akash what he wanted to do during his time with OBITER, what sort of journal he wanted to produce. Obviously, this is a very valid question. And his answer was very clear, very simple, and it really does resonate with me to this day. He said, Will, I want a journal that people want to read, that they want to fold up and stick in their back pocket, take out on the train again to read, and then perhaps dump it on the train for somebody else to read. Definitely not a journal that somebody picks up and throws away in the bin. And I think that sums up everything that we're trying to do quite nicely. That is very much the direction that we're trying to take. And obviously, whilst we're very young and whilst we don't have the formula quite right, we're very willing to take into account any suggestions to try and make the content better. At the very same time, the content that we publish isn't meant to be authoritative or in any ways binding. And that is the very reason why we named this journal OBITER. It's a genuine recognition that as students, we don't know it all, nor do we pretend to. But at the same time, we do hold the view that it is very important for us to be given the opportunity to express ourselves without reservation or any type of hesitation. We believe it is important because it is the only way that we will learn. And I think what is also incredibly important about publishing legal articles is that it is an accurate reflection of the issues which we believe should be canvassed in the public sphere. And that is a mission that we hold very dear to our hearts, and one that we hope would continue on long after my time with this journal. We also believe firmly, ladies and gentlemen, in the open and intercollegiate nature of this publication. We believe this because it is an aspect of our university degree that doesn't happen nearly as much as it should. I mean, just to give you an example, I come from the University of Sydney. Down the road, 3 k's away, about 10 minutes walk, it's UTS. And whilst there's a bit of rivalry, there really isn't much to do for students at UTS and at Sydney. We really have nothing to do with each other for the duration of our degree, which can last anywhere up to 5 years. We believe that this makes very little sense, and this is something that's got to change. It's got to change because we found a lot of things in common with law students, not at UTS, but across Australia. They're all hardworking, they're all passionate, they're all very like-minded in their worldview. They all love a good debate, right? And we think that this is something that we can channel together. And it is important to bring a group of people that want to go into the same industry, that would like to communicate with each other, onto an open platform for them to communicate with each other. And that is why from the very beginning, OBITER was meant to be intercollegiate. OBITER was meant to be an open platform that was inclusive of all students, regardless of where they live or which institution they belong to. This accessible platform also gives us the opportunity to meet with leading academics, distinguished guests like yourself in the audience, and members of the legal industry. We believe that this is very important because, well, as students, we are inexperienced and we require your mentoring. So I would like to say a big thank you to all of our distinguished guests, our diplomatic guests, our guests from the legal industry here in Canberra, our distinguished judges. Thank you for coming. It's raining outside, there's trouble on the hill, and I'm sure that for the students in the room, they would be much happier down at what is it called? It's the Moose Heads, where they serve $2.50 beer or $3 beer. So it means a lot for us to be in the same room. It really does. And for the adults in the audience, the proper adults, your effect and your impact on our students cannot be measured. And we just thank you for your time, because hopefully none of you guys are getting overtime for this, and this is purely out of your generosity, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you. Our intercollegiate mission, and I'll keep that very quick. Our intercollegiate mission also extends to the distribution of this magazine. Now, as students, we are not afraid to dream big. We want this magazine to go to all major Australian universities by the end of 2013. That is a pledge that we made last September at the University of Sydney. We believe that all students should be able to access this journal for free. And that is something that we've tried really hard to maintain and trying to achieve during the course of this past 6 months. So where are we now? With this second issue, I am proud to announce that we're going to 7 universities across 3 cities. And we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. And we look forward to the support of both the academics, legal professionals, the judges, the diplomatic staff, as well as the students, to try and make that mission possible. And to the students in the room who have heard a good 30-minute seminar and perhaps are mildly interested at joining this team, can I please implore you to submit a form? We're not looking for the smartest people. We're not looking for the people that have a lot of writing experience. We're looking for students that are passionate about the law, that are not willing, that are not afraid or hesitant to express themselves. Those are the people that we're looking for. And I would just like to share you one quick story about the types of people that you'll work with once you are successful for the team. Whilst we were interviewing Charles Waterstreet, Virat over here, who's the writer and the interviewer, wrote up a fantastic article, which I'm sure you'll read with great interest. The problem is that we weren't able to schedule in a proper photo shoot with the barrister, Mr. Charles Waterstreet. He was away from Sydney. And he provided us with, I think, 3 very, very small photos for us to try and publish. And obviously, when you put a small photo over 2 pages, it gets blurred, right? The head looks like it's just a box. And we really did not want that, because Mr. Charles Waterstreet looks a lot better than a box. Right, Virat? So we had to come up with a solution. And the solution was, I called up Christina. I'm not sure where she is, but she is here. And I called her up, right? And I said, Christina, could you please help out with drawing a portrait of Mr. Waterstreet? And there's not a lot of photos of Mr. Waterstreet, so we had to just send the 3 images that we had to Christina, and her first comment was, when do you need it by? And I said, Christina, as soon as possible, but 3 days maybe? And she's like, okay, we've got a lot of work, maybe. And guess what? 3 days afterwards, she delivered that portrait to me. And it appears now as the double spread feature at the beginning of the Waterstreet piece. It is a truly great example that resonates with me of students thinking outside the box and not being constricted and confined to the resources around them. We are creative, we are innovative, we are willing to set high targets and meet our high expectations. So if you're interested in joining this team, then can I implore you to send in an application? And I promise we'll review it with a very careful eye. Tonight we are releasing OBITER's second issue, and I hope that this is a strong relationship that we'll have with the students of this university as well as the ANU College of Law. And of course, our work would amount to very little without the support of our sponsors, one of which is the ANU College of Law, who's our exclusive partner for tonight's event. Michelle Mobile and her team from the College of Law at ANU have been absolutely instrumental in getting this project off the ground for us. I remember still harassing her over emails, trying to get funding and support last issue, and she's helped out at every available opportunity and have really made everything that we've done possible. So we look forward to building and strengthening our relationship with the ANU College of Law. And finally, the event before you is the combined work of a great team of ANU students on the ground. It is the work of Lewis, it is the work of Adam Spence, it is the work of Claudia and Katie, it is the work of Anna, and finally it's the work of Kelly. And it is these students that have juggled and managed to juggle both organising this event, contacting all of our distinguished guests, organising the Sydney team, as well as hopefully attending lectures and not skipping tunes. So thank you so much for your hard work, and it is an absolute pleasure to have the opportunity to work with each and every one of you over the course of this past 6 months, and more specifically over the past 2 weeks. Thank you. And without further ado, one last thing, I'd like to also give my thanks to the people towards the back who have been supplying us with beautiful trumpet and guitar music. They are the conversation. So if you'd like to see them at your next gig, let them know. And I'd like to also thank the helpers tonight for helping. That is it. No more from anybody, definitely not from me, and I hope you enjoy the beverages and the food. Thank you once again, and see you at the next event.